Here's an idea. Great man history is more of an indulgence than it is actual history. Now today we're going to be talking about two different arguments from two different philosophers. One, Thomas Carlyle. Two, Herbert Spencer. Now, behind me you can see Alexander the Great in all of his magnificence. And today we're going to try to do this all in one take. I'm Andrew Jones, and I'm wearing a DFTBA shirt. So first, we're going to talk about Thomas Carlyle and what he proposed as great man theory. Thomas Carlyle went on and did a series of lectures called On Heroes, Hero Worship, and the Heroic in History. Now, all these speeches, were lectures where he took different lectures at many different places, and he had a scribe translate all of that into a book, and he proposed that it is actually the great men that shape history and shape the culture around them, kind of like our little buddy back here. And one of the defining arguments that he said, and I quote, "One comfort is that great men taking up in any way are profitable company. We cannot look, however imperfectly, upon a great man without gaining something by him." Now that is a direct quote from the second page of his lectures on heroes, heroic worship, and the heroic in history. Now, if you were to take that quote, you can definitely tell that he loves heroes. This man definitely has a bias for great men. He loved Napoleon. He loved, even Jesus, Muhammad, people like that. They shaped the history around them instead of the culture shaping them. Now, this really, really, really upsets another philosopher called Herbert Spencer. And the first lecture was in 1860, Thomas Carlyle, but in 1896, Herbert Spencer condemned this kind of speech, or of this rhetoric. And what he said was that it was actually the culture inspiring and creating the great men instead of the other way around. Now, that's something that I believe, but I digress. In his book, In the Study of Sociology, Spencer said, "Then the origin of great man is natural, and immediately this is recognized, he must be classed with all other phenomena in society that gave him birth as a product of its antecedents." Now what that means is that it was the culture that created him, and there was no real divine birth here. Remember, the context of when this was happening was when a lot of rights were taken away from, let's say, rulers and divine birth. So Herbert Spencer believed, and I want to believe, that a lot of other people didn't think that these people were so divine. As in the medieval ages, when there was a lot of feudalism going on, where everything was divine right. God put this person down on this earth because they are so great, and they will take care of all of us. No! Herbert Spencer didn't like that at all. He hated it. He hated that, and because the culture created the person that make them a great man, it's not the great man causing the culture and that type of revolution. So remember, Herbert Spencer, culture, great man. Thomas Carlyle, great man, culture. Two very prominent philosophers that are very influential in their own part, but it is my own belief to think that a culture defines a great man and not the other way around. Herbert Spencer, I salute you.